Hello, I'm back. I feel like this channel ended up taking a little bit of a hiatus. There's been a lot going on in my life. I've been in and out of hospital the last couple of months. Nothing serious, nothing that anybody needs to worry about. I also had a rash on my face in between my hospital visits, so that meant I wasn't really wearing a lot of makeup. So these projects have kind of fallen by the wayside while I was dealing with all of that. Hopefully I'm on the mend now, so we can get back to project planning. So I don't think I'm going to wrap up anything of what I did last year, just because it feels like old news a little bit now, and not much progress was made after my previous update just because so many things were going on. I'm hoping to get back in action now, so I just thought I would kick off this year by bringing in a project that I haven't done before, which is just a regular rolling project pan. I feel like project pans are sweeping the internet. They're a bit of a craze again at the minute, aren't they? I feel like people are very sick of being over marketed to and over consuming and overspending, and I feel like a lot of people just want to pare back their collections a little bit. And just looking through mine today to get ready for this video, I do think that things are getting a little bit out of hand. It's not totally crazy, like there are some people that I've seen whose collections I've seen that are like crazy, and it's not crazy. Like it still fits in all in one drawer, like a big drawer, but it fits. But I wouldn't really want it to get any crazier than that. So I'm working on a sort of 1 in, 1 out situation at the minute, and maybe a 2 out, 1 in situation for my inflated categories, which are blush and lipstick. So I just thought I'd kick things off this year with a project pan. It's not something that I've done before, and something that I feel like I really missed out on last year. And if you're not familiar with the project already, it is just you select a number of products from your makeup collection. I've selected 10, and the goal is just to work on them until they are done. So it means that you are using up makeup instead of buying new makeup when you've already got plenty of choice in your collection here already. Well, if you're anything like me, that is what things will be like. And as I finish one item, I'll just roll in another one, and hopefully we can get a whole bunch of empties. I had 27 makeup empties last year, which I think is quite impressive. I'm hoping to somehow beat that this year. Somehow. First product that we were going to be rolling into the project is my Beauty Bay Mattifying Setting Mist, and it's one of those where you can't really tell how much is in there, but if I had to guess, I would say it's probably at about this level here. With setting mists, I don't normally like ones with denatured alcohol in, which this one does have. Normally I'm so meticulous about checking to see if something has denatured alcohol in, but I needed a setting spray, and I was trying to get my basket over a certain amount to get free delivery or free gift or whatever it was. So I ended up with this, and it does have denatured alcohol in it. I don't like denatured alcohol in setting sprays because it's also in makeup removers, and I want to know which one it's doing. And on top of that, denatured alcohol causes free radicals in the skin, which then can lead to premature aging. So it's not a very good ingredient to be having on your skin. I don't just want to throw this away because I've spent good money on it, and it is a good product. It does do the job. It does sort of like melt everything down onto the face. And I have been skipping setting sprays lately, so I just want to add this into the project to remind me that it is here and I do need to use it, because I do actually have 3 other setting sprays on deck and I need to start getting through them. This is my Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick, and this is in the shade Stoked. And there's not a lot of this left. That's it. That's all there is left. It doesn't screw up anymore. I'm at my limit. I will be honest, this doesn't have a great shelf life. This has started to smell a little bit weird. It sort of smells like cold chip shop chips, like with the salt and vinegar and then just like fatty. I have been using it and it hasn't been breaking me out or causing any skin issues, and because there's just that little nubbin left, I just thought I'm going to get through it. And I do really like this product. I really like how it blends. I love the shade. It's like a nice cool toned contour. I don't like an extreme contour because I've got such a round face. If I contour too much, it just looks ridiculous anyway. It's just the right amount of pigmentation for me to get a little bit of contour, to try and get a little bit of shape to these big juicy cheeks. And I do really like this product, but I wouldn't rebuy it once I've finished it, just because how quickly it goes off. It just goes off before you would ever be able to finish using that. Next, I've got my Rare Beauty highlighter, and this one is in the shade Exhilarate, and there it is there. This is just an absolute dream of a highlighter. This is everything that I'm looking for in a highlighter. It's twinkly, it's smooth, it's not PC. It's somehow both twinkly and not PC and smooth, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. And as you can see, I do have a little bit of a pan going in that one. So I thought that would be a great product to add into the project pan. And hopefully we can finish one of these this year. And I am liberal with my highlighter. I have finished one of these before, but not all myself. It actually broke and I lost quite a lot of it when it broke. So I would like to actually finish it myself. Next, I have the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer, and I'm really sorry. You know when they put the stickers on them in the shop to stop people putting their disgusting little fingers in them, and then it makes the packaging all disgusting. So sorry about that. I love that they haven't put a mirror in this, so you don't have to. And who needs a mirror this tiny anyway? Probably adding so much to the cost and adding extra waste, having to constantly make mirrors that are just being thrown away. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that we're going to try and pan this Buttermelt Bronzer in the shade Butter Biscuit. And there is quite a these smell so good, don't they? There is quite a severe dip in that. I do really love this bronzer. It's sort of got like a warm to cool flip in it, so depending on which way the light catches it, it looks warm or cool, which I just really like. I think that really works because I don't really know if I want a contour or a bronzer, so this in my life, so this is both, and I do really like it over the top of this. It just brings a little bit of warmth to this, but this is probably going to be a little bit of more of a long haul product, but that's fine. That's what we try and do. We try and have some long haul stuff, some like easy stuff to get through. So yeah, this will probably take a bit more time. Then, please don't judge me. I have this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and this was actually discontinued many years ago. I would say maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I found this in one of those makeup outlet stores, and they literally just had like my shade and then like loads of like the palest shade. And I was just like, oh my god, it's meant to be, because this is one of my favourite foundations of all time. Of course it's discontinued. Only things that I love get discontinued. There's just this little bit in here and it's very old and it's time to let it go. I've been sort of clinging onto it because I love it so much, but if you love it, use it instead of clinging onto it. Like, it's not helping me out staying in this tube for the rest of time. I do also hold on to this a little bit just to shade match, because I know that if something matches this, then it matches me. But it's just so old now, it's time to let it go. I don't think there's very long left in there. I do think this bit will probably last a lot longer than I think it's going to. But yeah, maybe 2 or 3 months and we'll get this finished and out of my life forever. Last one for face before we go on to lips, and this is the Sephora own brand blush, and I bought this as a dupe for the Benefit California blush that I finished last year. It is actually a perfect dupe of it, and I didn't know it was a dupe at the time. I just saw it in Sephora. I got this in the United States when Sephora didn't exist in the UK, and I just saw it and I was like, that's my gal. And it is just a perfect dupe of that. It's like a perfect little peachy pink with like a little bit of a gold reflect to it. And as you can see, it does have a bit of a pan in there. This is probably going on 10 years old now. Some people would just throw it away because they've got so many blushes in their collection that do need using. But I'm not going to do that because it's got a pan in it and I want to see it done. I reckon this is probably going to be like maybe a good 6 months in the project. And I am going to miss it. We've been through a lot together. Next, we're rolling in the Revolution Pout Liner, and this is in the shade Melba Warm Peach. And it's just this, as it says, like a lovely sort of warm peachy pink shade. And it is properly like a My Lips But Better shade. Like, come on, look at that. We're meant to be together. And there's only that much left. So I reckon maybe 3 months worth of like heavy usage and we should be able to get her done. Big fan of this lip liner. It's not like super stiff or super waxy. It is quite creamy and glides on quite nicely. It doesn't spread when you put on a lip gloss or a lip liner. It still keeps everything under control. And my other liner that I'm going to include in this project is this Beauty Bay lip liner, and this is in the shade Vintage, which is just sort of like a mid-brown. I typically do like a peachy pink lip or a brownie orange lip. And if I do a peachy pink lip, I use that lip liner. If I do a brownie orange lip, I use this lip liner. So if I'm not using that lip liner, I should be using this lip liner and no other lip liners, because I actually do have so many brown lip liners. So I need to try and get through some of them. Anybody that watched my deck of panning project last year will recognise this girly. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Bullet lipstick, and this is in the shade Bond Girl, which is a shade that doesn't actually even exist anymore. There's only this tiny nubbin left, but it's such a densely packed, firm, stiff formula, which is great for longevity on the lips, but because of that, it is very, very, very hard to get through. Mi Kiss is the new shade name of this shade, but I don't even know if Mi Kiss exists anymore. I haven't seen it around in a while. Hopefully we'll get this done this year, but it's probably going to take a good few months still, because even though it's small, it's big, if that makes sense. And then my final product that I'm going to be panning, and I'm kind of annoyed with myself because I kept this lying this way instead of this way, so we can't see how much usage is on it, but I would say it's probably about here, coming up to about a third of the usage on this. And this is my e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oil. This is in the shade Rose MV, and it's just a lovely sort of like peachy pink, and it does have a little bit of like a glittery thing in there, but you can't really tell when it's on the lips. I'm wearing it today and my lips don't look particularly sparkly. That is the final product that I'm rolling into my project pan for this year, and I'm super excited about it. I am really motivated to try and enjoy and use up the makeup that I've already got, instead of constantly spending money on new makeup that doesn't ever really fill the hole, does it, girls? It wouldn't matter if we had every makeup product available on the market. The nature of the hole is that it cannot be filled with makeup alone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you don't mind the new setup. So I have moved up into my dressing room. The lighting is just a little bit more even here until I can invest in some artificial lights. The background is kind of chaotic. I know that's going to be a bit distracting for some people. I'm a chaotic girly. I'm a maximalist. I love clutter and colours and, you know, textures and shapes and patterns and whatever. I'm just going to leave this here. Thank you so much for watching, and please do consider subscribing if you want to follow me on my project panning journey. I do think I'm quite good at panning makeup. As I said, last year I finished 27 makeup items, which I will be ranking in a video coming up shortly. And until next time, do take care.